lot of different ways, and a lot of areas of opportunity are emerging for those who are doing coaching, training, consulting, and other forms of thought leadership. And to find out what's happening specifically in some key markets, I've invited a couple of guests to join us. First of all, we have Ali Emre, who's joining us from his office in Istanbul, Turkey. Ali, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you very much.
And also Steve Shelley joins us from his offices over in Nairobi, Kenya. Steve, thanks for being with us today.
Great pleasure to be with you, Terry and Ellie.
And I'm anxious to hear. I've heard many good things about what the two of you are doing and the kind of work that you're doing. We see a lot happening in many areas. Let's start with the positive side. Ali, we hear many good things about what's happening in Turkey and the economy doing well, which is interesting because now Turkey is doing very well versus the rest of the world, Europe and the U.S. and Asia, other places, many others. Some are not doing as well. What do you see happening right now in the market in Turkey over there, Turkey in general, but also specifically in Istanbul?
Terry, it's very interesting for the Turks in these days because every time we were in crisis and the other countries were not. But the biggest crisis after 2001, the Turkish economy taken under control. The banks, the loans, everything has been under control. And thanks to those actions, I think Turkey was prepared to the crisis. The big crisis came from first the United States and then the Europe. Right now, we are seeing that the growth rate is decreasing a bit. Now it's 4%. Last year it was 7%. And there are some indicators that it will be not as good as the this year for the next year. Mm-hmm. But it is, if you consider the other countries in the world right now, I think Turkey is in a very good shape.
Oh yeah,
we are in the good track.
Yes, indeed. Well, you're doing a lot of things right, and 4% growth would be something that many other countries would just be on their knees begging with their hands folded, saying we would love to have that. So that's good. Well, Steve, how about over in Nairobi, in Kenya, and around in Eastern Africa? What are you seeing as far as the economy goes right now?
The strange thing is that we seem to be completely disconnected from the global recession, and we have something of a mini boom going on here.
Nice.
Historically, the economy has not relied on credit, so when 2008 struck the developed world, we really didn't notice very much until sometime later. And if you drive around Nairobi, there's a major construction boom going on. Businesses are reinvesting into Africa because the growth potential is here. We're sitting on an untapped market of nearly 1 billion consumers who are getting slowly into the middle class. Mm-hmm. And big multinational corporations are beginning to realize that there is growth potential here where it's a bit flat elsewhere in the world.
Yes.
So paradoxically, people think of Kenya and other African countries as being poverty and war-torn, but the reality is, on the ground, business is doing quite well.
That's very good. Well, that's always encouraging for those of us that are looking at other opportunities and being able to do more. Well, let's zero in specifically on the areas of coaching, speaking, training, those areas. I know, Ali, you have done a lot with that, and you've worked with that for many years in the background, with Arthur Anderson before this. You've been now working with what you're doing for many, many years. What do you see happening in the area of training, development, and coaching? What are people looking for in your experience, Ali?
Terry, to me, I've been in this business for 23 years, and when I started this business, nobody in Turkey was aware of corporate training or management training. But in the end of 90s, the quality issue in Turkey became a real big phenomenon, and I think it become more popular. The trainings and the consulting became more popular after the quality wave. Mm-hmm. Actually, right now there is a big market. I can say there's a big market. I think there are 300 companies, training companies in Turkey, training and consulting companies, and at least 1,000 people are running trainings and consulting, mm-hmm. including the academicians. In Turkey, the things has changed into more specific. In the past, we were doing some kind of seminars, corporate, let's say, uh, customer care, normal sales trainings. But right now, together with the coaching, it become more sophisticated.
Oh, okay.
So we are after having some tools like OMG, Objective Management Group from United States, assessing for example, the salespeople, assessing their capabilities, assessing the sales department, and then give the training after the seeing the what they need. Uh, I think it will be more and more sophisticated in the future, and I can say we see the trends. We see some trends that also, like we do right now in video training. Many things will change in a very short time in the
Yes.
next 2 3 years.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of change on that, and technology particularly as it coming in. Steve, as I look over toward where you are, an emerging market that's just got tremendous opportunity right now, interested in what's happening there with training, but also on the technology side, how you see that's affecting. What do you see now on the ground?
Very much as I was describing for Turkey, in terms of a lot of players in the business of training and facilitating and consulting. A characteristic of both our location and the fact that it is a growing economy. But being a developing country, we tend to leapfrog the development curve.
Yes.
So though our internet connectivity up until now, even as I'm speaking, is on a wireless modem, we're only getting fiber optic in the road outside as we speak this very week. But we will be catching up, and the speeds of our technology, the use of wireless modems, for example, is quite superior to a lot of other countries that I traveled to, including some more developed countries like, say, Dubai in the Gulf states.
Ah, interesting.
So we have extremes of difficulty. You may even see the lights flickering as our power goes off in the peak period of the early evening. And the internet connectivity goes off at certain times because of overuse and the infrastructure not being great. But on the other hand, when it does work, it's really good, and everything works extremely well. On that technology front, in terms of the business of professional speaking and training and consulting,
Yes, indeed. And it looks like, Steve, we're getting a little bit of that interface right now where it's locking up just a little bit, but that's okay. I think your point is well taken, that it's coming along well. When it works, it's great. And I think interesting that you don't have to go through the same procedures that a lot of countries like the United States or Canada or Europe did. It's not like you're embracing black phones with a rotary dial right now. Instead, you jump past all of that and go immediately up to the most sophisticated smartphones and internet connections that are available today. And that's where you're starting. Put in the infrastructure for that. And so I think in a way, you've got an advantage over already laid in infrastructure in the United States, North America, Europe, maybe even some places in Asia.
Yes, we pretty much have given up on landlines, as we used to call them. We literally don't have wires any longer. And yet the Kenyan population in the rural areas, particularly the farmers, are using mobile phones for day-to-day trading, money transfers, and many things that the developed world doesn't realize because you basically don't need them.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's just a completely different technological environment.
Absolutely. That makes a lot of sense. Ali, how about from your perspective? What role do you see mobile playing over there in other technologies?
I think yesterday I was in a meeting, and the most important issue, everyone agrees that it's the mobile.
Yes.
So, but I really, I had a very interesting experience in the early 2000s with Skillsoft, the e-learning company. But we couldn't succeed it. We couldn't succeed because the market was not ready, I believe. Right now, the young generation using the mobile and the technology, it is very, very, it became very, very popular. And I see some trainings in Facebook. I see some trainings even in the phones. But these will be very, very common, I think, within 2 or 3 years. That's my point.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, we see a lot of development there, and it's good. Now, one thing I would be very interested in from both of you, what areas in particular do you see interest in? Sometimes we're interested in, well, is it more in team building? Is it more in leadership? Is it more in marketing? What particular subject matters and topic areas do you see people are asking more about? Steve, we'll start with you. What are you hearing there in East Africa?
Very current thinking is that people are hungry to know what's going on in the rest of the world, Terry. People are wanting to engage with the rest of the world, to catch up with what's going on in the rest of the world, and therefore to understand and to hear from people like yourself and your partners around the world just what's going on. We're very lucky working with Ali and other partners of ours in other countries that we do regularly get together and kind of update on this. But not everybody has access to that kind of know-how and that kind of up-to-date information.
Yes.
So again, it's one of those business of leapfrogging.
Yep.
If you're in business and you find out what's going on in New York or in Moscow, in Australia or in Turkey, tomorrow we can be using those ideas. Whereas those people who don't do it clearly are not going to have the competitive advantage that maybe that information can give to them.
Yes, you're right. It's wonderful today, I think, being alive here, we're able to connect, and all three of us connecting here, even though it looks like, Steve, your image is frozen a little bit here, but that it must be very cold in Kenya right now. You're frozen on the screen. Or as but that's okay. It's part of the download and the way things are there from time to time. But Ali, let me focus on you. Do you see any particular areas like marketing, leadership, or team building, or some other area that people are requesting more?
No doubt about that. The electronic marketing is very popular right now issue in Turkey. Also management and sales, because the after the crisis, the margins go down and everyone is after sales. They want to increase the capabilities of the sales team. And of course, they want to understand the new technology and the new marketing media. These are the important topics. And the people want to get to know what it is all about, because in technology side you can implement whatever you want in Turkey at the same time if it is in United States.
Yes,
they are investing a lot. The companies, especially the GSM companies, are investing a lot those kind of things. I think in the very near future the GSM companies will be will play a very key role in every aspect of the reaching to the individuals. Therefore, these marketings, these kind of marketings, electronic marketing, interactive marketing, all those kind of things are very, very popular right now in Turkey.
Excellent. Well, those that are watching this, I know, will find that most helpful and very good to know, so they can hone those skills. And when you think about it, the world now becomes our marketplace. The world is open, and it really doesn't matter what's happening in one particular geographic area. Now, if we do it right, the world is literally our oyster and our marketplace. Well, gentlemen, you have been very gracious to help on this, and I'd like to find out, I know there's people that are going to want to get in touch with you. What's the best way for them to reach you? And Steve, we still have you frozen there for a moment, but you go ahead and we'll make sure we can get the graphics on there. What is the best way for someone to reach you, Steve?
Well, my email and Skype are on the website, www.tacafrica.com. I'm very happy to hear from anybody at any time.
Excellent. And what's your email address, the best email address for them to use?
The simple one for anybody not wanting to write it down is steve@tacafrica.com.
And that's TACK Africa.com.
Yep.
Excellent.
That's the one.
Super. And Ali, how about yourself? Someone wants to get in touch with you. What's the best way to do that?
First is the website, of course. It is www.pdr.com.tr, and my email address is aliemre@pdr.com.tr.
Okay, very good. Well, gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. We greatly appreciate it, and we'll look forward to seeing you live and direct sometime.
Thank you very much. Thank you.